The boy, nervous about challenging the strongest man in school, arrived at the designated spot, but when he saw the much taller high school students, he became extremely frightened. To appear stronger, Ryuko pulled out a knife from his pocket and timidly expressed his desire to have a one-on-one duel with the strongest man there. The high school students didn't give him a hard time. Instead, they said they would relay his request to the strongest man. The next day, Ryuko arrived early to wait at the agreed-upon location after school. To his surprise, the legendary man showed up. His name was Baki, the strongest high school student in the world. Baki took off his Ryukoite, revealing his muscular physique, and declared that he would not go easy on Ryuko. Ryuko was terrified as he saw Baki's powerful muscles. He feared Baki might actually kill him. While Ryuko was still contemplating how to respond, Baki instantly moved behind him, slapping Ryuko's back with incredible force. The next second, Ryuko was sent flying high into the air. The onlookers were stunned by Baki's strength, but to everyone's surprise, Baki didn't act arrogantly after his victory. Instead, he was very kind. From that moment on, Ryuko unexpectedly became friends with the world's strongest high schooler, which not only surprised Baki but also made him feel respected. It was a far cry from the mocking behavior of his usual friends. On the way home, Baki suddenly began shadowboxing in the air. For a boxer, this was just basic training. The punches and dodges practiced repeatedly improved the boxer's strength. However, what Ryuko didn't expect was that Baki's punching speed kept increasing, and his focus grew sharper. In front of him, it seemed like a human-shaped flow of air was fighting him back. Ryuko rubbed his eyes in disbelief, but there it was, Baki was truly sparring with someone. Ryuko couldn't deny what he was seeing. Being a boxing fan, he quickly recognized that the figure in the air was none other than the legendary boxer, Tyson, who was once considered the strongest boxer in the world. Baki was intensely fighting Tyson in the air. Suddenly, Tyson landed a classic uppercut, knocking Baki to the ground. The onlookers, still confused, thought Baki was just putting on a mime performance. Baki rubbed his nose and began to take the fight seriously. He moved closer to the airformed Tyson and delivered a quick high side kick, hitting Tyson's head and knocking him out cold, instantly dispelling the human-shaped airflow. Ryuko couldn't believe that Tyson, the undisputed strongest boxer, had been defeated by Baki. Baki's rigorous training was all thanks to his father, who was known as the strongest living creature on the planet. Baki used a hellish training method and entered an underground basement made of reinforced steel. According to Baki, his next challenge was to face a creature more powerful than an African elephant. Ryuko, confused, looked around the empty room, unsure of what Baki was about to do. Suddenly, Baki was struck against the wall. Ryuko's eyes widened as he realized the strongest creature Baki was referring to was a praying mantis. How could a mantis be stronger than an elephant? But Baki assured Ryuko he wasn't joking. In one-on-one battles, insects could be some of the most skilled fighters. While large wild animals can drag 3 to 4 times their own weight, insects can effortlessly lift prey that weighs 7 to 8 times their own body weight. If insects were the size of humans, humans would stand almost no chance. Baki chose a praying mantis for its fighting prowess. The famous mantis fist style in ancient Chinese martial arts was inspired by the movements of the mantis. But now there was a problem. How would Baki fight such a small creature? Baki told Ryuko that he could spar with Tyson, and he could also fight the mantis. Using his imagination, Baki created a 100-kilogram praying mantis. He performed a high side kick, striking the mantis's head. However, the mantis easily bounced him off. Baki couldn't believe how strong the mantis was. He had to pay close attention to catch its movements. After a few exchanges, the mantis had Baki restrained, and with a powerful blow, Baki was slammed into a steel wall, leaving a deep dent.